volunteers prepare to race onto the field. Everything is riding on this football game. So there's a special intensity, a special urgency. Here come the volunteers. Wherever you listen throughout the world, it's football time in Tennessee.
Welcome to the Talkin Vols Network. My name is Boogie Bentley, and look, I thought I had the day off. The Indy kid was supposed to be dropping a basketball video tonight, but we had this break. We got news. Tennessee lands a new transfer. Kamal Hadden from Auburn, formerly of Independence Community College, has committed to the University of Tennessee. Defensive back, we're going to talk about what he brings to the table, a little bit of his history, watch a little bit of film. You guys know the deal. We'll get into it. And then as far as the Indy kid and his basketball video, he's still going to be recording that. We're going to post it in the morning. So make sure you tune in and check that out tomorrow morning. Indy kid is doing the Lord's work when it comes to that basketball program. But like I said, we're going to get into it, talk about this transfer. But as always, guys, before we get into it, make sure you do go ahead and smash that like button. Just hit that little thumbs up just below the video. I would greatly appreciate it. It helps the analytics of YouTube. It helps get this video out to more people, and we greatly appreciate the support. If you're new here, welcome. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe. Click that bell for notifications so you don't miss out when we go live, when we drop new content. Just a quick reminder, in about 10 days, Friday the 28th, we're going to be going live watching the 98 National Championship game. We want you guys to join us. It'll be a lot of fun. We'll have the stream shared up on air so you guys can see the game as we watch along with you. Should be a good time. So I hope you'll check that out and join us for that. Now let's get into it. Let's talk about this. Again, Tennessee adds transfer cornerback Kamal Hadden. And let me say this right out of the gate. When you see Auburn, you get a little excited because you're talking about an SEC program. Because, look, Austin Price, VolQuest.com, told us this was coming. He told us. He said it on the VolQuest podcast. He said Tennessee is going to be looking for a defensive back. Bank on it. It's coming soon. So then we start speculating. We start looking. And some of the rumors were, a cornerback from Southeast Missouri and a corner from Tulsa. Those aren't names that really excite me. But when you see that Tennessee adds Auburn transfer cornerback Kamal Hadden, just on reputation alone, you get a little bit excited. Let's take a look at the article here from Rocky Top Insider. It says it's been quite the offseason for the Tennessee coaching staff and the transfer portal. The Vols have already added numerous players this offseason. On Tuesday, Auburn transfer Kamal Hadden announced he would transfer to Tennessee, giving them more depth at the cornerback position. And that's something that I've talked about regularly on this channel. Josh Heupel and this coaching staff, they have done a good job using the transfer portal. And as I've said regularly, love it or hate it, it does not matter. You can love it or hate it. This is the way that college football is going to be now. And if you can find a way to utilize that transfer portal and you get the right guys, you plug in the right pieces, you can cut down on this rebuild tremendously. And I think Josh Heupel is doing that. The article goes on to say here, the 6'1", 185-pound cornerback from River Rouge, Michigan, signed with Auburn in December. He played previously for Independence Community College. Yes, that one, that Independence Community College from Netflix. Great show. Go check that out if you haven't seen it yet. But it says he had 21 tackles and 3 forced fumbles during the 2019 season. Something I'll say about Independence Community College video I made just yesterday, talking about we need more alphas, we need more dogs, we need more fight, we need more grit, we need more Al Wilsons, less Henry To'oto'as. Independence Community College, if you've watched the Netflix documentary, is known for alphas. It's known for dogs. It's known for kids with fight. So we'll see. We'll see how Kamal Hadden does. We'll see if he's got any fight. Go on here reading the rest of the article. It says he was a 3-star JUCO product who announced he was entering the portal in May. He had signed with Auburn while the previous defensive coaching staff was still in place before the firing of Gus Malzahn. And again, that's always something that we look at when we're talking about the transfer portal. Why are guys leaving? Are they a problem child? What's the issue? What's the story? As much as I criticize Henry To'oTo'o, as much as I say play for the T, I speak out of both sides of my mouth because I say when a coach leaves, it's not like this kid is coming, he's a problem child. He's leaving because a coach is leaving. So I'm not going to sit here and argue or fuss because I don't care anything about Auburn. And yes, I'll be a hypocrite. I'll speak out of both sides of my mouth. Come to Tennessee. Welcome. We welcome you with open arms. Henry To'oTo'o hit the bricks. Don't care. Good riddance. Coward. Traitor. Judas. Says Kamal went through the spring with Auburn and received some positive reviews from his new teammates, especially after their spring game where he had 3 tackles and a forced fumble. He's got some film there. I'll try to get some film queued up here in just a second. Says the Vols are adding a playmaker at the position they needed, as the Vols were looking to find a guy who would potentially be around the program for a while. I believe, it doesn't say in this article, but I do believe he has 3 years of eligibility. Says this addition will be key for Willie Martinez, as you can never have enough defensive backs, especially one with the skill set like Hadden. Let's go. Let's go. Let's plug and play. Let's plug in guys. Again, use that transfer portal and let's cut down this rebuild. Says I would expect him to come in and try to be an early factor for the Vols defense. Yeah, okay, well, there it is. Hadden will have 3 years of eligibility left. Alontae Taylor, Kenneth George, Warren Burrell, you're on notice. You're on notice because it sounds like this kid is coming to play. Sounds like he is coming to compete and maybe in the mix. Maybe not necessarily a starting job. We'll see what they do. We'll see how they utilize him. Let me go ahead and share up this. This is his 24/7 profile. Again, you can see cornerback, 6'2", 185. He was a 3-star as a JUCO. Let's go down. Let's get some film queued up here and get it rolling. Then I want to take a look at his interview with VolQuest. They asked him why Tennessee. Why Tennessee? And the quote here, again, I'm reading this from VolQuest.com. I promote them on the regular. You guys, it's the best $9.99 you could possibly spend. If you are a Tennessee fan, you should be a member of VolQuest. They asked him why Tennessee. He said, I just feel like I have a great relationship with the coaching staff. There it is again, relationships, family. So we had a good Zoom meeting with my mom and family yesterday. She really liked the coaches. She's good, so I'm good. Mama's boy. I like that. Like that. He says, I know the staff of there. I know Coach Martinez and Coach Hype. He says, I know Coach Banks because he was recruiting me to Penn State last year. Says he also has a relationship with Rodney Garner, who he met when he visited Auburn before signing. So he's got a familiarity there with this Tennessee coaching staff, with Willie Martinez, with Coach Banks, Coach Heupel, Coach Garner. Says had a good relationship when he's talking about Martinez and Heupel. Says UCF was one of the final 3 schools before I went to Auburn. Picking Tennessee made me feel like I was joining. Here it is again. Guys, here it is again. Made me feel like I was joining the family. I know how they are. Knowing them already and not starting over when I went into the portal was a big deal. He goes on to say, Coach Martinez really likes my awareness and the way I attack the game. He says, I play with a lot of passion. There we go. That's what we want. We want a dog. We need a dog. And like I said, those kids from Independence seem to be dogs. They seem to be kids with a chip on their shoulder. Maybe something went wrong somewhere down the line, somewhere along the way of life. And they went through Independence trying to make it to the next step in the SEC or wherever, whether it be the ACC, wherever they end up. Those kids seem to have a chip on their shoulder. I just talked yesterday how we need more dogs. We need more dogs. Maybe Kamal Hadden is a dog. He says, I play with a lot of passion. Every day they know I'm going to compete and outwork people. Okay, come on. I didn't even read this, guys. I didn't even read this. I just saw some quotes, and I knew I was going to throw them up on air. I tried to get this out as quickly as possible. He says, I'm going to outwork people. I'm just a dog. Let's go. Let's go. I'm just a dog who's going to show up to work and win every day. I love it. I love it. This kid seems to have something. Feeling a need, adding some depth. That's what this football program needs, is depth, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Again, kudos to Josh Heupel. Josh Heupel has used the transfer portal as good as any other program. Filling holes, filling spots of need. I think Josh Heupel's done a good job. And you can talk about recruiting. I got a recruiting video coming tomorrow. Like I said, I'm going to drop the Indy Kids video in the morning. And then I've got a recruiting spotlight that maybe I'll drop later in the afternoon. If not, maybe I'll drop it Thursday. But when we talk about recruiting, one of you guys left a comment, and you kind of compared this to Rick Barnes and how he came in and he developed guys that weren't necessarily the 5 stars. He takes talent that was maybe 3-star talent, maybe 4-star talent. He develops them, turns them into 5 stars. And then those 4-star guys, those 5-star guys want to come to Tennessee. And that's kind of a similar situation with where Josh Heupel is. But again, I wanted to jump on here. I'm kind of rambling, just free-flowing today. Kamal Hadden, Auburn, is on his way to Tennessee, adding depth to the defensive backs. You guys can check out the merch. The link's in the description below, bonfire.com/store/talkinvols. We would greatly appreciate that. If you have not done so yet, please smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. More content coming your guys' way. This is the Talkin' Vols Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.
The songs howl like weed, poets sat in arcade, soaking moonlit falls, unbroken past this inundated orb that we call home, and it's night and I'm alone and I'm alive. The dawn